Hi, this is Kizzy, and thank you for tuning into our video exploring technology trends in the years to come. If there's a trend that you think we've missed or haven't explored enough, please mention it in the comments box. And if you haven't already, we'd love you to subscribe to the Best Tech Ever channel, as your support gives us energy and inspiration. It seems like every day there's a new technology trend. It can be hard to keep up with the pace of innovation and know which trends will stick around and which are just passing fads. But it's not impossible to predict what might come next in the fast-paced world of technology. Best Tech Ever has reached out to our game-changing community and asked 5 tech leaders for their predictions on how technology will evolve in the years to come. Here's what they had to say.
Hi, my name's Leo Gebby and I'm an analyst working with the research and advisory firm CCS Insight. We cover the connected device landscape and also a whole range of other areas of technology beyond that in our research. Now, one of the areas of technology that I'm so excited about as we look to the future for 2023 and beyond is augmented reality. We've seen lots and lots of focus on virtual reality in recent years, and we've seen devices like the Meta Quest 2 come to the market and provide a real breakthrough in terms of giving people access to next generation VR experiences. But augmented reality remains somewhat on the horizon, and there's a few different reasons for that. One is that augmented reality is very difficult to engineer. The headsets that people have built so far have either been very expensive or really bulky and uncomfortable to wear, and we're yet to really see something which is a powerful augmented reality headset which looks and feels no different to the glasses that I'm wearing right now. But I think over the coming years we will start to see some breakthroughs in that area, and there's a few reasons for that. One is that we're seeing some of the problems with augmented reality gradually getting solved by better and better engineering. We're seeing things like 5G enabling split rendering and allowing for rendering of augmented reality content in the cloud, meaning that you don't need to have as much actual powerful componentry within a headset. That makes it far easier to make things slimmer and lighter and more efficient, and therefore have better battery life and actually be usable as a device throughout the day. At CCS Insight, we've already predicted that we'll see a range of companies entering the augmented reality market over the next couple of years. We expect to see companies like Apple, like Samsung and Meta, potentially Google as well, all launching augmented reality devices in some shape or form. They might not immediately be sort of the true vision of smart glasses, the absolute nirvana of a pair of glasses just like these that still provide augmented reality capabilities. But I think we will start to see wearable and comfortable glasses and devices like that, which actually provide real value to people on a day-to-day basis. So it's something that I'm so excited to watch moving forwards over the coming years, especially given all the buzz around the metaverse and the idea of using spatial computing in more of our day-to-day lives. I think this is definitely an area to watch.
Hi, I'm Cameron Kaler. I head up the commercial team here at Locato in Australia, and I'm here to talk about the biggest game changer we see in the market, which is why low code is the next big thing. First of all, let's have a look at the current economic conditions and how CEOs are responding to that. Biggest initiatives: reducing cost or optimizing cost, driving automation, productivity and efficiency, and also managing workforce size. What does this mean? Doing more with less. What doesn't it mean? If we look at the box on the right, it doesn't mean less technology. In fact, over half are maintaining their digital pace, and over a third are increasing that. So let's break that down. Who manages this? This technology? IT teams, developers. They've never been more expensive than ever before, and certainly those that can code. I think I was reading in the AFR that salaries have gone up 45% in the last 6 months, and they're really difficult to find. Just something's got to give, and that's where low code has a huge advantage. I'm going to tie that into a couple of major trends, or 3 major trends that we're seeing. First of all, the democratization of technology. Where is this technology going to come from? Over the last 5 years, it's exploded on the business side. Function by function, there is numerous apps for every single problem that you can ever think of, but the biggest challenge is they're not integrated. In many cases, and you need to integrate before you can automate. If we're going to accelerate this, what we don't want is more data silos, fragmented processes, security risk, right? So how do we integrate them brings us into the next trend we see in a low-code way: integration and automation. Integration has always been a complex, expensive challenge that highly skilled resources have had to manage. Same for automation. What we're seeing is a convergence of the two, certainly here at Wacato. And if we are going to connect those, we need, quite frankly, to allow more people to be able to do it, right? That doesn't mean hiring more expensive people. What that means is using low-code tools to do it. And finally, the emergence of digital business models. Here's the reality, it's already happening, right? Half of business leaders think they have a better understanding of requirements than IT do. 37% believe they've got the capability and resources to do it themselves, and many of them are, which is creating security risk and shadow IT. So with low code, it actually allows you to embrace what's already happening and move from a centralized operating model to a distributed IT operating model, with IT moving to become the enabler, the mentor, the coach of automation, and ultimately doing more with less in challenging economic conditions. This can only be achieved with low code, and it's why we see this as the biggest game changer in the market.
Hello, I'm Dr. Laura Roman, located in San Francisco, California. I am Chief Marketing Officer of EdgeX. EdgeX is an edge computing platform that makes it easy to write, deploy, and execute edge and IoT applications using serverless computing to accelerate the responsiveness of edge applications and secure edge data at the source. EdgeX is a privately held company based in Raleigh, North Carolina. What I predict and why is within the context of where the world is going with automation and an automated future. In the context of Industry 4.0 and the fourth internet, data processing needs to be close to where data is being generated to power augmented reality, empowering decision-making via AI and machine learning. Industry 4.0, the fourth industrial revolution, is predicated on IoT, which is redefining event-driven software, putting machines and devices capable of infinite scalability and efficiency in the place of human intervention. Computing in the era of IoT is moving out of the realm of the abstract, spreadsheets, mobile apps, websites, and software as a service platforms, and into the real world to power augmented reality, empower decision-making via AI and machine learning, operate cars, and increase public safety. Compute is being developed to increase performance, at the same time reduce the e-waste of industrial machinery. This compute paradigm is being widely recognized right now, edge computing. Edge computing enables secure data processing at the far edge of the network, making data instantly available to users with low latency and reliable access. As 75% of enterprise data is created at remote sites, branch offices, mobile devices, and by IoT-enabled smart devices, more enterprises are looking to deploy computing power at the network edge, and it will be gasoline behind Internet 4.0. Edge computing is important for several reasons. The first is improved response times as it enables local processing of data. Information doesn't have to travel as far as it would under a traditional cloud deployment, making it available sooner. And edge computing enables improved security and privacy by reducing the need to send sensitive information to the cloud. Edge computing distributes the processing, storage, and use of applications across types of devices and data centers, making it a challenge for a disruption to shut down the network. The key element for the growth of AI and machine-to-machine is a strong edge architecture that uses biometrics, environmental sensors, and other connected devices to send and receive data quickly. The edge is foundational to these changes that are just on the horizon. Finally, serverless computing is the final piece to this future of tech puzzle. Serverless is the term used to describe cloud-based architecture that allows the building and running of code applications. A serverless application is a collection of functions that are each responsible for a single task that respond to user actions or network requests. Serverless computing enables freedom from building and maintaining servers, reducing risk, as serverless platform providers have dedicated systems and processes in place to manage information security and data integrity, automating scaling of infrastructure as demand grows, and is usually cost-effective as users only pay for the computing power they use. The tech trends emerging now, serverless and edge computing, will power the technology of tomorrow.
John Cutler. I work at Amplitude as a product evangelist. Amplitude helps companies build better products. My day-to-day work involves coaching product leaders on how to build effective teams, how to use our product, how to use data, So something that's been standing out to me lately is what I would call the digital product making divide. I'm happy to see an analyst polls that data and analytics ranks high in terms of importance, but how that priority manifests in reality can vary a great deal between companies. So let me give you an example. Let's pick one digital product first company. They're spending $36,000 per employee to have a specialized analyst work with them one-on-one to help make better product making decisions. Now, that doesn't include tooling or licensing for services, things like Amplitude, AWS, doesn't include the team who's even building or maintaining any of the key infrastructure. That's just the cost they're paying for other humans to help them. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, you have companies where designers, engineers, and product managers have no access to any human being who can help them. So if you can get it yourself, great, but if not, you get no help. So many of these companies, these large enterprise companies, these banks, these big consumer brands have the money to spend. They're actually doing well, but they're stuck in that old IT mindset of being a cost center, of being a shared org, of spending as little time as you can possible to get something built. So my point here is it's really a mindset shift. It's not really about the money because these companies are doing extremely well. And it's not just about saying that data analytics is a priority. That's great, they say that. It's how that priority manifests in terms of supporting product and growth teams.
Hi, I'm Mark Toffoli. I'm the global leader for sales and solutions engineering at Connexium, and I'm based in Vancouver, where I've worked for the last 20 years at Connexium. Now, in looking at the year ahead, I still see COVID lingering around with us. It's not going away anytime soon. And I do see global supply chain disruptions continuing to be with us due to the twin forces of labor supply and raw material and finished goods supply. Mostly as a force of the unraveling of globalization that was the run-up for the last number of years, starting to unravel as people starting to become more regionally focused and politically focused in their own areas. So what this has meant is a competition of money, a lot of cheap money in the last little while for scarcer and scarcer goods, which has led to inflation, which has led to interest rates, and so now we're even talking recession. So the year ahead looks a little cloudy right now, and I'm going to make a bet anyways, and that bet today, for those of you who know me, not surprisingly, will be on platforms that help companies process transactions automatically, stuff they're doing today manually that they can shift to other work. Now, the key thing with these platforms is they can't require large investments of money because the money's going to be tighter because of increasing interest rates and the cutting back of quantitative easing. I also think it can't rely on large influxes of human capital or labor to accomplish these because of the labor shortage we have. And they can't just shift the work to another member in the supply chain. Like, you can't force your suppliers or your customers to do the work that you used to do by giving them some sort of a web interface. It's actually got to truly automate the work that's there. And today, over 50% of transactions done still have somebody manually keying something at least once, if not twice, in that transaction cycle. Now, the goal to deliverable of automation for those things is eliminating people's fingers in the middle of those transactions. So how do you do that? How do you do that without forcing change? Actually just layering in on the existing people, processes, and technology that are there today. Well, the way to do that is to put in platforms that automate simple transactions. Like today, email makes up over 40% of the business-to-business transactions in a 30 trillion global economy. So think about the impact that can have. Just something as simple as eliminating the keying of email transactions could free up 25 to 50% of your customer-facing inside sales and customer service teams. That's a huge impact, and it's a huge price we're paying today. Now, some of you might think it's cynical of me to bet on the company I work for and the work I'm doing. I personally think that when you believe in what you're doing and when things get tough, the better to double down. So my bet is going to be on global transaction processing platforms.